Hi, you guys. This story is going to be about my ex-boyfriend, and I use that term very loosely. Okay, so yeah, I use the term ex-boyfriend very loosely. We were dating when I was 16, so I'm 25 now, so that is almost 10 years ago. So if I don't remember some details, please give me some grace, because like I said, it's been almost 10 years. And I honestly and truly don't remember a lot from high school. I'll just be very honest with you. But I'm going to try the best I can to remember. So basically, let me backtrack. I had a homegirl. I guess we'll call Alina. Alina and I were really good friends. I had a lot of friends. They were my best friend, but they also knew entirely too much about me, and we were entirely too close to be acquaintances. And so she was one of them, and I still call her my homegirl to this day. No, you're not drinking my tea. And we still have a friendship till this day. We may go 6 months, sometimes even like 2 years without talking. And then next thing you know, we text each other and we get on the phone for like 9 hours and just catch up the entire day. So you don't even want the toy, Bills. There. So, my homegirl Alina had, her house was literally right next to our high school. So a lot of times when I was in freshman year and sophomore year of high school, if I didn't have like a game or something that I wanted to see, like a football game or a basketball game, I didn't really want to go home. So I would either stay after school or I would walk to Alina's house with her after school. And sometimes those two would be one and the same, because I would have to stay after school with her because she had something going on so that I could walk home with her. So one day I stay after school with Alina like usual, waiting for her to get done with whatever the hell she had going on so that we could walk home together. Alina had this guy friend named Billy. Billy was like this dark skin, average size, average height. He was like a little chubbier, but not like, he was the type of chubby that you don't realize is chubby unless like you poke him or something, or like you see what he looks like without a shirt on. He had braces and he had this is so funny, like just thinking back, like the type of guys people were into back then. But he had braces and he had a flat top. And he was like one of those guys that was just very like so retro, I think he skated. So he was like, one of those guys, he smoked all the time. Mind you, we're in high school, we're in the 10th grade, and this boy is like a full on like stoner. He smokes 3 times a day type. So it was just, yeah. He always wore like those colorful bomber jackets, the 80s ones that everybody wanted to wear, and everybody would go to the thrift store to try and find and things like that. Because that was like, are you done? Oh. So yeah, I'm sorry if y'all could hear like the little jingling of her toy in the background. That is just the only way I can get her to not try and drink my tea and step on my computer and get in the way of the camera and, just basically be a cat. But anyway, so he was one of those guys. He always wore like the retro Jordans, like the, not like the Concords and things, like the ones that like I don't even want to say like the basic people wore, but like the more hype Jordans. He would wear like the 5s or the 3s, or he will wear like I remember he really wanted a pair of like Nike Cortezes, like that was his thing. He was just more so like Tumblr fashion, which so was I. I was like really into Tumblr back in the day. Tumblr was the shit, okay? Tumblr was the shit. You can't tell me nothing about Tumblr, okay? Tumblr was that girl. All right, that's how I found out about so many of my favorite artists now. Like fucking The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd. Okay, there is not a single song by him that I don't know. Like I love that man down. And I found him on Tumblr back when he was still going by The Noise. Like, so that's how me and Billy bonded. I remember, I think I like told him, like, you know, I like your jacket or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we like hit it off. So Billy he's an Aquarius. If you know anything about Aquarius men, they are so charismatic, but also deserve to forever be stuck in the loony bin. Like they are out of their fucking minds, but they are so charismatic and so charming. It's like I'm scared. Like what is this? Like what is this chemistry? Because they don't even have to be like the prettiest ones. Like, and I'm not the only one that says this about Billy. Like I've had other friends and other like girls who have told me like, yeah, no, he's a fucking asshole. Like genuinely an asshole, but he's so charismatic and charming that it's like it's off-putting. It's like, whoa, somebody this fucking rude and this horrible should not be this personable. Like it's odd. Billy was just, yeah, he was interesting. So we like hit it off immediately. We were just like, you know, talking away. I think one of the major things, no, I know one of the major things that we bonded over was our taste in music, because you guys got to understand, this was like 2014, 2015. And like this was around the time that don't break your fucking teeth. Anyway, this was around the time that like Travis Scott had just stepped on the scene, or not just stepped on the scene, but like before any of his actual albums were out. This was days before Rodeo. This was that part in his career. So it was like a thing of like, if you knew him, you were like so based, you know, like just just so cool, you know. And you usually knew him from Tumblr. And so I was a really huge Travis Scott fan back in the day because of Days Before Rodeo. Like that was like one of my favorite albums. I would listen to it over and over and over again. I was also a very huge A$AP Rocky fan. I still love A$AP Rocky to this day. Like I'm not really fond of his newer music, but like you know, at long last A$AP and like, you know, Cozy Tapes. Yeah. Cozy Tapes. I listen to that all the time. Like I love A$AP. Genuinely. So that was like, you know, my thing, as well as The Weeknd. And Billy was also into all of those. And a lot of times, like, people who did like those artists, they knew like the very, 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 very popular songs by then. Like the one or two songs you may hear on the radio, or like a celebrity might have posted it or whatever, and was like, oh my god, I love this song, blah, blah, blah. And so everybody else started listening to it, but like those are the only things that they listened to by that artist. Whereas like me and Billy, we were listening to like their deep cuts, we were listening to like their mixtape days and shit like that. So that's how he and I ended up also bonding, because it was just like we felt so seen, you know. Basically, long story short, Billy and I started dating. I honestly don't remember like how we got each other's numbers or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We ended up texting, we started dating, blah, blah, blah. We started dating the first semester of 10th grade year. Christmas break came. It was like the day of Christmas break. And I used to hate Christmas break. I always had like this underlying anxiety that something was going to happen, because like, for literally back to back to back to back to back to back to back, it was like the day of Christmas break, something was happening. So Christmas break was here. It was the day of Christmas break. Everything went literally so well. Like it was such a good day at school. I was so happy. My friends and I were like, oh yeah, like we'll see you later, blah blah blah, you know, just having like a great time. So I went to go to my dad's house or whatever. Like I had to get on a plane. We were running late because I had to like wait on my grandma. Like my mom was at work, I'm pretty sure. And so my grandma had to take me. But one thing about black people, they gonna wait to the last fucking minute, the last minute. And my grandma had to get my sister ready as well. And so it took forever. And I was like, I think I packed the night before because I didn't want to be late. We ended up missing the flight and I was so distraught. Like, I was so incredibly distraught. And like, because I have like trauma from missing a flight back when I was a kid. A whole different story. Um, but so I was distraught. And then when we were driving back to the house after me missing my flight, my grandma hit a pothole and the tire blew out. And we had to pull over to a gas station. And so I'm crying even harder because I'm just stressed out of my fucking mind. I'm like, everything is going wrong. I'm supposed to be with my dad for Christmas. I'm supposed to see my other little siblings. Like, I'm supposed to see my uncle and or my uncles and like their kid. Like, I'm just distraught. You know what I mean? And I'm like also thinking, I'm like, my dad's gonna be fucking pissed at me because I missed the flight. Like, I was like just so overwhelmed. We get the tire fixed. We get home. I get a text from Billy, my boyfriend at this time. He tells me that he wants to break up. I'm like, God damn! Can I have a break? Can I have a break? Can I have a break? Oh my God! Can I have a break? Can I rest? Can I live? Can I have a break? I was just so like, just I was so just over it. I think I slept in bed for like 2 days. I did not get out the bed. So, because it was so much going on. I was just like, I need a break. I need some rest. So, I'm pretty sure I ended up spending that Christmas with my best friend or one of my best friends. And till this day, that like started a tradition. So, like, they always had a Christmas Eve party every year. And I even like went back to her house, spent the night at her house, woke up the next day, and I spent Christmas Day with her and her family as well. So till this day, like I still go to her family's Christmas Eve party. I'm like part of the family. I bring my significant other. Like it's a whole thing. I get back to school. I see Billy, and I literally just like act like he doesn't fucking exist because that's like my favorite thing to do. Like, you literally will never exist to me ever again. Like, you just won't. So I like walk past him, don't talk to him, nothing. And it goes on like that for a couple weeks until I literally just like I'm not even thinking about him. He like doesn't matter to me. He is literally just another person in the hallway, basically. Like, we had a history, but it is what it is type shit. Spring break, Billy tells me that he's sorry, that he fucked up and blah, 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 and that he wants to work on things with me and he wants me back. So I'm like, okay, we can go slow this time, blah, blah, blah. I'm 16 years old, young, dumb, not full of the stuff. But yeah, so I'm just like, okay, whatever. So we start talking again and we are just moving as though nothing ever happened. But this time around, we don't get back into a relationship. And I hate the word, but like in high school, when you're not going on dates, it is genuinely just talking. Now that I'm an adult, I don't use the term talking. I fucking hate that term. Like if I say I was talking to somebody, that means like I was literally like conversing with them. I was having a conversation with them. Because what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Are we courting? Are we dating? Are we seeing each other? We can do that. If we're in a relationship, then we're in a relationship. I won't say somebody I was dating. I would say my boyfriend or my ex. I don't talk to nobody, baby. I'm 25. I don't talk to no damn body. I'm dating. I'm just kidding. I'm in a relationship, but like when I'm not, when I was single, I wasn't talking to nobody. I was dating. I was seeing. Okay, I was courting. Okay, grow up. You're not talking to somebody. If you're talking to somebody and you're 25, cut that man off. Cause what the fuck are y'all talking about at 25 damn years old? Let's be for real here. Let's be for real. Anyway, like what the fuck do we have to talk about? I'm sorry. I just hate that term. I hate that term. Grow up. Grow up. You are 47 years old talking about how you talking to a woman. Nigga, if you don't take that bitch on a date, are you out of your mind? You're talking to her. What the fuck do you have to talk about at 47 years old? 47 years old, 4 kids. She got 7. What the hell are y'all talking about? Anyway, so I just lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, we were talking around this time. We did not get back into a relationship this time around. We're texting, we're talking, we see each other in the hallway, we're still making out in the hallway, hugging, holding hands, walking to class together, all the whole shebang, right? The only thing that we're not doing is claiming each other. And it's not even like we're not claiming each other, because everybody knows, like, if you see us holding hands and making out and, you know, all that shit, and you know that we were in a relationship at some point, everybody was just like assuming that we were back together. And I didn't correct them, he wouldn't correct them. So, or at least from my knowledge, he wasn't correcting anybody. This summer, I was so incredibly busy. This was literally outside of me doing a summer semester so that I could graduate college. This was the busiest summer of my entire fucking life. Like, I've never been this busy before. At the beginning of the summer, I had a cruise that I was going on with my family. And so for a whole week straight, I could not speak to that man, which is probably like, well, not man, he was a boy back then. I could not speak to that boy. And I think it was probably for the better that I couldn't talk to him for a week, just because he was no good for me. And like, I didn't realize it. Like, why are you conversing with a man, with a boy, for 4 months straight and y'all don't have a title? Like, that don't make no sense. What is y'all talking about that's so interesting for 4 months? Be so for real. Or 3 months, because that was June. So I come back, and while I'm back in town, I think I'm back in town for maybe like a week and a half. Then we had a cute little movie date. My stupid self, I forgot my money at home, and so my mom had to like drive all the way back home, get my money, come all the way back to the movies and hand me my money, because he didn't have money for the movie ticket. And I was like a little like, but like at the same time, looking back on it, the boy was 16 years old. Like, obviously he doesn't have money for my movie ticket. He brought money for his movie ticket and then money for snacks for the both of us. But you know, it was kind of outrageous for me to expect him to like be able to have extra money to buy my ticket if I needed him to. So, you know, now if a man told me like, oh, well, I'd be like, oh, well, bye. Because what are you talking about? You don't have $11. $11. You don't have 11 US American dollars. Girl, go to hell. But like, you know, back then, 16 years old, I don't even think the boy had a job. I think maybe he was doing some illegal activities to get money. But, you know, I think I had a job. So that's why I think that's why my mom went all the way back instead of just giving me money, because she knew that I had money of my own at the house. And the house is only like a 10-minute drive from the theater. So that whole thing happened. It was so cute. I went home, he went home, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward a week, I went to California because my aunt was getting married in Napa Valley. Still to this day, I want to go back to Napa Valley. Like, I want to go to Napa Valley so badly and do like a little wine tour. But we went to Napa Valley for my aunt's wedding, and then after that we went to San Francisco. So I think I was gone for maybe like a week and a half. And then I came back. I was there for 2 weeks before I went to my dad's house for the rest of the summer. So when I missed my flight, instead of renewing my flight for the Christmas holiday, because I think all the flights for Christmas were like completely booked. Like there was no way for my dad to just reschedule for like the next day or the day after for Christmas. He rescheduled it for the summer so that I would just have a ticket to come visit him for the summer like I usually did. So, but before I went to see my dad for the rest of the summer, like I was with my dad from, I want to say, July. Ooh, sorry, my voice tracking. From July until like a week before school started. And like in Houston, school starts late. School starts in like the 22nd, 24th of August. So I was there that entire time. So, but I was at home for 2 weeks before I had to catch my flight to go see my dad. And Billy and I were talking. We were like getting a lot closer and things like that. And for some reason, my little stupid idiot teenage brain thought it would be a good idea to lose my virginity to him. Thought it would be a good idea to lose my virginity to him. Why? Who the hell knows? But I did. I mean, I did have that thought. So Billy lived about a 10-minute drive from my house, or my mom's house. I was telling him like, I really want to do XYZ, blah blah blah, basically just telling him that I wanted to have sex with him. And he, stupid teenage horny little boy, he's like I told him, let's do it, baby. And he was like, okay, let me find a ride to your house. I was like, okay. He obviously didn't have a ride. Like his mom's not gonna drop him off at my house to get some cooch. Like that's just not a thing. And I don't think his older brother was home. Because if his older brother, I was about to say, I don't think his older brother had a car, but I'm pretty sure his older brother had a car. Like he would have had to have. But I don't think his older brother was home, or else his brother would have dropped him off. Billy was like, let me figure out how I'm gonna get to your house. I said, okay. And he's like, I don't hear anything from him for like, I want to say 20, 30 minutes. And then he texts me and he goes, okay, 30 minutes. My neighbor is letting me borrow his bike. Y'all, his neighbor was in elementary school. And he was he was borrowing his elementary school neighbor's bike to ride to my house in easily maybe 98-degree weather to get some cooch. Now you tell me if you think I still let him come over and get some cooch when he told me that he was going to be coming with some smelly peen to put it inside of me for the first time. No, hell the fuck no, absolutely the fuck not. Are you dumb? So I was just like, oh, okay, we could just do it another time then, yeah. Because it was just like, you're out of your mind if you think I'm about to like, ew. So, like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, I've never been more sure of anything in my entire fucking life, but I am like, baby, I'm sure. I'm sure to the 100th degree. I am so sure. So he was like, oh, okay, all right, okay, blah, blah, blah. Maybe when my brother gets home. I was like, yeah, maybe when your brother gets home. Yeah. And I just never spoke about it again. So, went to my dad's house, had a great time, the whole shebang. I got back to school and I was like so excited. I was gonna see like my friends again. And, I'm catching up with my friends and everything. And me and Billy back to normal, walking together, holding hands, making out in the hallway, the whole shebang, right? So this goes on for about, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks. So first week of school we were good, second week of school we were good, third week of school we were good, and then boom, Monday. I think it was like early September, like September. You look so pretty, Mama. Oh, you look so cute. Oh, my baby. I'm walking in the hallway, and the way me and Billy's like schedule was set up, there would be times where like we would literally walk past each other in the hallway, and that's when like we would end up meeting up. And he would just walk me to my class, or we would like find like a middle point, and we would just like stand up against the wall for like the next 5 minutes or 4 minutes, and then not really a middle point, it would be close to my class, then he'd have to like sprint with his like pants hanging down and everything. With like the fucking holding his pants up with a fucking shoestring, like just trying to run to make it to his class. Like, so I like walked past him, and I was like, "Oh, Billy," and I like reached out to like grab him or something, and he like did one of these, and he literally straight up ignored me. And I'm like, and I remember earlier that morning, because we'd always text each other good morning. I texted him good morning, no reply. So then when I saw him, it was like literally, I think like first or second period, I saw him and I was like, "Oh, Billy." And he went and just kept walking. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? No, like really, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Like what the fuck was that? So I'm like, and I'm like, okay. So fast forward, I see him again, and I'm like, I look at him, we make eye contact, and I'm like, and he just walks past me like he doesn't even fucking see me. And I'm like, does the nigga not, does he need glasses? Did he forget his fucking contacts? Like, what the hell? I know he saw me. I know his black ass saw me in his fucking hallway. Literally, because, like, one thing about me, if you went to high school with me, then I have been natural for a very long time. I had a relaxer for 3 years. Sixth grade, seventh grade, and then half of eighth grade. And my mom was like, "I'm not giving you any more relaxers, and I'm telling your stepmom to not give you any more relaxers. You're not getting your hair perm anymore." And so by the time junior year came, my hair was completely like natural, and I was one of the only like non racially ambiguous girls that had natural hair. So like everybody knew me because my hair has always been just fucking ginormous. It's always been ginormous and curly. So it's not hard to notice me. Like it's literally, it's so hard to miss me back when I was in high school, because I was one of the only people that always wore their natural hair out. Like everybody else either had braids or they had sew-ins, like or they had relaxers, things like that. And so I was the only one really that was, fully black, that had their hair out at all times. I think there was only like maybe one other girl. So it was like, what the hell? And so I texted him. I was like, did I do something? Like, what? Like, did I miss something? Do we need to talk about something? What's going on? No reply. I'm like, okay. So, BRB, I gotta pee. For the next week, that was happening. Remember, this happened on a Monday. Literally for the next 5 days straight, in school, he would ignore me. I would literally like, it got to the point where I just had kind of put in my head, like, okay, I guess we're done. You know, like it was so odd, and I had no, like, it's, you, how do you ghost somebody that you see every day? Like, that's the weirdest shit ever. Like, I don't understand ghosting somebody that, like, you know, just in general, but it's a lot easier to ghost somebody who you have never physically met and you're not in the same environment as them. That's like ghosting somebody that you work with. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm seeing you every goddamn day. You can't speak up and be a goddamn man and say what the fuck you feel. Like, are you okay in the head? Is everything going, like, hello? Is everything up there okay? I literally like just was like, okay, he's on some weird shit. Like, I guess we're done, right? So, fast forward. Um, let's see. Fast forward, the like I literally stopped texting him as well. I stopped trying to say hi to him, like everything. The following Monday, I'm walking down the stairs to get to one of my classes, and he's walking up the stairs to get to one of his classes. And it's the same stairs, so we're passing each other. And he sees me, and he steps in front of me, and he goes, "You must think I'm dumb. You must think I'm dumb." But I'm not. I'm not. I'm not stupid. So I literally look at him and I go, and I walk around him. I walk around him and I go to my class. Because, no. I went to physics or whatever, right? And I had tweeted, it was something like, imagine a guy thinking that he can ghost you for an entire week and walk past you like he doesn't know you. And then the next week, try and give you a hug like everything is okay. Like, no, sir, we need to have a talk about what the fuck just happened. It was something like that. Going about my day, whatever, 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 whatever. And I look on Twitter and I see Billy's tweets. And all I see, the very first thing I see is dumb bitch. And I'm like, oh, dumb bitch, dumb bitch. So I'm like, who the hell is he talking to? Who's he talking to? He ain't talking to me. Who he talking to? Dumb bitch. What dumb bitch is he talking to? Because I know dumb bitch. You know what I mean? So I go on his Twitter, like on his actual page, on his profile, and I see things like, so the dumb bitch tweet was like, dumb bitch, we were never together the second time around. I'm like, my God, he's talking about me. He's talking about me. He's talking about me. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he was like, he had said something like, I never loved you, or I never said I loved you, or something like that. That was a lie. This man told me, he was the first one to say it. I never loved you, and blah, blah, blah. And then he said, like, you were just an easy fuck. And I'm like, huh? So that tweet in particular, I'm like, huh? I'm just an easy who? What? Because, like, I never experienced openly a guy just lying. Like, just straight up fucking lying. So it was like new for me. And so like I tried to rationalize it in my mind because I was like, maybe he like meant that like, he was trying to have sex with me and he never like he obviously never got to, like I just told y'all, he never got to. But like in my mind I was just like, maybe he was calling me an easy fuck because he had been trying to fuck me, and that was like the goal or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I literally not making sense to myself, but I'm like, why would this man just straight up lie on me? Like it's not clicking to me. So I'm like, and I literally go catatonic. Like I'm just like, it's hard for me to move. I'm like kind of blacking out because I'm having a panic attack basically, because I'm just like, this guy who I've been telling I love to for the past year, like you guys have to keep in mind, he and I started dating like October of the previous year of sophomore year of high school. It is now September of junior year of high school. And this is when everything is going down. He and I have been dealing with each other for basically a year on and off. So this was like, because I've never had something like, and still to this day, I've never, oh no, that's a lie. My ex-girlfriend and her stupid bitch ass. But like, other than that, I've never had anything like publicly be put out like that, and like me just publicly be shamed and downed that way before. So it was just like, it was such a shock to me. Like I was sick to my stomach. It was like every few steps, my like mind would just kind of like be so jumbled up with thoughts going to choir that like it was like blinks. Like I was in one hallway and then blink. I was in the next hallway and then blink. I was in the choir room. And it was just like, it was so much going on. And I remember I was in the choir room and I was like still. And we're like we had a pep rally that day. I remember. So, because I would have just went to my best friend and like told her about it, or like at least just like cried to her about it. But because we had choir together, we decided to take choir together that year, as well as one of our other friends. But that other friend, so my best friend was a cheerleader. So obviously with the pep rally, she's in the gym preparing for the pep rally. The other friend that we took choir with, who I would have also like probably not cried in front of her, because I honestly and truly I hate crying in front of people. So I probably wouldn't have cried in front of this friend, but I would have like just talked to her about it. But she wasn't a cheerleader, but she was in student council, and she was like, I think pretty high up in student council. So she was in the gym preparing for the pep rally as well. And I'm literally just like sitting there trying so hard not to cry. And we end up going to the gym. I'm sitting by myself. I literally don't even like recognize anybody in the gym, because I think for the most part, they usually like to split up the pep rallies between grades. But since I had started choir late, I started choir my junior year of high school instead of my freshman year of high school. I was in a freshman level class technically. So I was in the gym with all of the freshmen and sophomores. So I literally knew absolutely nobody in the gym except for the people that were actually in the pep rally. So I was literally like by myself, just sitting by myself, trying not to cry, trying to keep myself together. And I was just like sick to my stomach, like literally sick to my stomach. I was shaking. I was just not okay. I was in a bad state. So afterwards, we went back to the choir room, and I was just trying to push through. Like while we were doing the singing and everything, I couldn't even like get the words to come out of me. Like I was just so distraught, and so like it was like an outer body experience that I was going through at this point. So it was a lot basically. And like it just felt like, I know nobody was laughing at me or like looking at me, but it just felt like everyone was, because even though he wasn't the cutest, or he didn't even play sports. He was one of those people that knew everybody. And I also knew everybody, but people knew me for the wrong reasons that I later found out, because everybody was lying on me sexually and like saying I did X, Y, and Z with one guy, I did X, Y, and Z with the next guy. I did literally nothing in high school. Like nothing. Sure, I, liked guys, I would talk to guys and things like that, but like sexually, I was entirely too scared to do something. So I never did anything, but guys would just lie on me anyway. Why? I wasn't even like known to be lying about, you know what I mean? That was that on that. We did not speak for a few months. Don't worry, I never like got back together with him, never even like entertained that sort of thing ever again. But like it's hard to just never speak to somebody again. At least in my case, or back then in my case. No, still no. But like one major thing about me is like once I lose interest, you're not getting me back. Like you're not. Once you like piss me off to the point of no return, you're never gonna get me back in that way. We could be cool, we could be friends, we could kick it, we could skate. I'm not about to date. We're not about to date. Like it's not happening. So fast forward, it's been a few months. I'm talking to that guy that was in my class, the cute little sweetheart. And I'm literally just going through life. So this is when I introduce Mandy. So in order for you to know who Mandy is, I gotta give y'all like a little bit of, we gotta go back. So Mandy was another one of my homegirls. Me and Mandy were not as close as me and Alina. If you remember Alina, like way, way, way back at the beginning of the story when I was telling y'all about the friend whose house I would always go over and all that, and that's who I met Billy through. Me and Alina were close, like super, super close. She wasn't my best friend, but she was like one of those. And then there was Mandy. Now, basically me, Mandy, Alina, and then my two best friends all went to middle school together. And it's a little bit, I know like for other people, it's not like astonishing that you know a lot of people that went to the same middle school as you, because your middle school all goes to the same high school. But my middle school was a district middle school. So all of the friends that I made outside, like other than Alina, Mandy, and my two best friends, everyone else went to other high schools in the district. They were all zoned to the other high school. So I literally never saw any of them again. Never. Not once in person. Ever again did I see them. I literally never saw any of them again. Never like really spoke to them again. Nothing. They all continued being friends because they all went to the same school in high school, but I was the one that was basically removed from the group because I didn't go to the same high school as them. So my two best friends, Alina, Mandy, and I, were all kind of friends with each other. Like some of them weren't friends with the other, but like a lot of them were friends with somebody else that I was friends with outside of me. So Mandy was friends with literally every single other person in the group on her own terms. Like none of us were ever a friend group. They were just all my friends separately. And then some of them also knew each other and were friends with each other outside of me separately. So my two best friends had already fallen out with Mandy about some bullshit way back. Like one of them fell out with her in the 8th grade, and they were like super close. Like when I say super close, I mean like she knew their mom, like she knew Mandy's mom, and like would go to Mandy's house all the time and shit. And then the other one, she was about as close to Mandy as I was. They fell out 9th grade year. But the thing about me is that Even if my friends fall out with you or you and my friends have some beef, that's between y'all. They don't got nothing to do with me. Unless it's like some shit of like, you were being derogatory or something, like being racist or something like that. If it's like y'all falling out over a boy or like boy related shit, that genuinely has absolutely fucking nothing to do with me. I do not care. I do not care. I'm not fucking that nigga. I'm not sucking that nigga. I do not care what y'all got going on between one another when it comes to some random ass stupid boy. I don't care. So they both fell out with her over like individual things or individual beefs that had to do with boy related topics. And so honestly, I'm not gonna lie, they would just like tell me like, oh yeah, no, I don't talk to her anymore. And I'd be like, oh why? And then when I would hear a boy's name, I would literally just tune out. Cause I cause it was just like, okay, like that ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all have y'all's beef over there, and I'ma still be cool with both of y'all, and I just won't talk about the other person in front of the other person. It is what it is. So, and when I say talk about it, I mean like mention them, like, oh yeah, she's doing blah 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 today, and like, no, I'm not gonna give you no updates on her life. It like it is what it is. So, Mandy and I had like this weird phenomenon where we were always attracted to the same person. In high school, we were attracted to the same person all the time, every time. And, we talked to these same two guys the entire time, and those same two guys talked to the both of us at the same time. And it was just like, it was a whole thing. But when I was in middle school, I really didn't give a shit. Like, I didn't care. I wasn't like, super, super, super duper caught up on boys in middle school. Like, I would kiss boys. I didn't start kissing guys till I was like in eighth grade, but like, even then, like it really did not matter to me. Like I didn't care. Like when I was in middle school, I knew these niggas was for everybody, so I didn't care. I really didn't. And I knew that she was like, doing her own little thing with the same guys. It was none of my business because I was not gonna cuff none of them, so it really did not matter to me. But that's all to say that she and I always had the same taste in guys, and she always liked whoever I liked, and vice versa. Mandy and I had gotten a little bit closer, so she and I were like cool all throughout middle school. I want to say like all throughout middle school, she was more so an acquaintance. She was not like a full blown friend, but she was a close acquaintance. She was like just barely a friend, but we didn't hang out outside of school enough for me to consider her a friend. When high school came, that changed just a little bit, just enough for her to become an actual friend of mine and become like an actual homegirl. So she and I would always walk from fourth period to lunch together. Fifth period of my school was lunch. So we had A, B, C, and D. My fifth period, the lunch period, had A lunch because we would go to lunch and then we would be stuck in his class for B, C, and D lunch and then all the sixth period. So I had A lunch and so did Mandy. And we were both always coming from the same part of the school. So we would always just wait for each other by like these certain stairs, like these certain set of stairs, and then we would walk with each other to the lunchroom together, and then we would split up and we would go to our respective friend groups in the cafeteria. Before I can even like tell y'all any of that about like that next part of the story, I have to rewind and tell you what happened with Billy in the meantime while I was moving on and I started talking to that new sweetheart cute guy. Billy started dating this other girl. We'll call her Yasmin. Yasmin also went to middle school with me, Alina, Mandy, and my two best friends. So we all went to middle school together. It's so weird. It is so weird. Like everybody is all from middle school, but aside from fucking Billy. But yeah, so we all went to middle school together. Yasmin was friends with Alina and Mandy, and she was cool with one of my best friends. I was never really like cool with her. It was never like, beef or nothing. I just didn't speak to her. She wasn't like a friend of mine. She wasn't like I don't think we ever even had any classes together. I think we had maybe PE together in 6th grade, and that was literally it. But Mandy was just never, not Mandy. Sorry, there's so many names. Yasmin was just never someone that I was like cool with. Like, I saw her, I knew she existed. That was literally the extent of our relationship together. So, Yasmin and Billy started dating. Yasmin was one of those girls in high school where she felt as though she had to have beef with her boyfriend's exes. So she created like a weird fake beef between us just because she was dating Billy. And like I literally didn't give a shit. Like, okay, you're dating him now. I'm literally talking to a guy who is like 10 times the man that he is. I really do not give a shit. Like, you'll see how big of a piece of shit he is soon enough. You know what I mean? But she literally, I remember one time so vividly. I was walking this way, and I think her friends were walking this way. Her and her friends were walking this way. And watch. I was walking past, and I was just texting, in the hallway. And I looked up, and I saw her, and she saw me, and we made eye contact. And I looked at her, and I looked back down, and I kept texting. And then when I get past them, I hear Yasmin and her friends start like cackling. And like I turn back and I look at them and they're literally like mimicking me. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. But so that was like the type of girl Yasmin was. But at the same time, even though she was behaving like that, I like still didn't have any issues with her. It was just like, she's a weird bitch. Like, she's weird, but like, you know, whatever. And I say all of this to say that I had told Mandy this. And I was like, yeah, no, I walked past her in the hallway and she was like, her and her friend started laughing at me and shit. Like, that bitch is weird. Like, we don't have any fucking beef. Why are you laughing at me? What, because you with Billy? Nobody gives a fuck about his black ass. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's so weird to me. So, but Mandy was friends with Yasmin. Like, super close. Super close friends with Yasmin. So, she was just like, oh yeah, that's weird, but that's my homegirl, so chill out. I'm like, okay. So, fast forward, I'm walking to lunch. I'm walking to lunch with Mandy, and she tells me, you will never guess who's been texting me. And I'm like, you're right. I can't guess who the fuck's been texting you, because it could be literally anybody who's been texting you. And she goes, Billy. I'm like, Billy? Why is Billy texting you? That's like, why is he texting you? And she starts telling me about everything her and Billy have been talking about for the past week. So she tells me how Billy tells her, and she shows me the text messages too. She shows me the text messages between her and Billy is telling her how he just really, really, really wants to kiss her. And how he likes her so much and he's so attracted to her. She's so pretty. And that if he knew that she liked him before he got with Yasmin, he would have gotten with her instead of Yasmin. Mind you, that's her friend. That's her friend. That is her friend. And so I'm like, That's weird. That's really weird. That is really odd. Like, you're an odd ass little girl for that. Like, that's weird. And she tells me how she went on a date with him, but the way that they disguised it was that they went out with some of their other friends that they had, like some of their other mutual friends, but they spent all of the time together in the group. So, mind you, not only does Mandy know that he is dating her really close homegirl, but she also knows everything that happened between me and Billy, all the way up to like all the way through the tweets and everything. Like, she knows everything, absolutely fucking everything. So I'm like, that's weird. So I'm like, okay, like, how does Yasmin feel about this? Like, is Yasmin gonna break up with him and blah blah blah? And she was like, well, she was telling me how, like, basically her and Yasmin were having a conversation, and Yasmin is like confiding in her because Billy just doesn't feel the same with her anymore. He's cheating on me. She's like, he's definitely cheating on me. I can feel it. I can just feel it. Like, he doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel natural like it used to. Like, I know that this man is cheating on me, and I think I'm going to break up with him. Y'all, Mandy wants this nigga, right? She's going on dates with him, texting him, telling him how much she likes him, and how, she wishes that he would have found her before he found Yasmin as well, and like, that whole shebang, right? Why is she telling Yasmin, no, girl, like, don't ever say that, don't ever think that, like, you need to just stick it out with him, like, he's just going through a hard time, he's not cheating on you, I promise, I promise, I promise, like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that to him, he's such a great guy, don't break up with him, just give him another chance. Well, I'm sorry, do you want the nigga or not? Like, do you want him or not? Why the fuck are you telling her to stay with him, and you want him, and you going on dates with him, and you kissing him? Like, do you want the nigger or no? Like, that's so weird. That is so weird. I don't care what the hell's going on. That is so weird. So when she tells me this, I'm like, oh, this bitch is a thrill seeker. That's what that is. She likes the adrenaline of fucking with somebody else's nigga. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. No wonder she's always going for the same niggas as me. She can't help herself. So, that's so mean. But anyway, so fast forward, I literally, like, I have in my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to this girl no more. Like, I don't want to be friends with her no more. That's weird. That's odd. I literally, like, stopped waiting for her to walk to lunch with her. I just go to lunch by myself and meet up with my friend group, and, just put in my headphones to walk to the cafeteria and all that. So one day, Alina, friend from way in the beginning, homegirl whose house I was always over, she comes up to me and she's like, hey, do you know where Mandy is? And I was like, no, don't ask me about her. She's a hoe. I don't want to talk about her. I don't know where that hoe is at. If you want to know, go ask Billy. Like, basically straight like that. Like, don't ask me nothing about that bitch. She's a hoe and I'm hanging around hoes. So Elena's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So she walks off, right? And of course, Elena is a real ass bitch. So she's gonna tell somebody, like, she's gonna tell, the girl, like, oh, she was saying X, Y, and Z about you because that's her friend, that's her homegirl. So Mandy comes up to me. She comes up to me and she always used to walk like this. And she came up to me and she was like, so I heard you were talking shit. Yeah. I heard you call me a hoe. Yeah. Why you call me a hoe? Because you are one. How am I a hoe? You're literally fucking with your best friend's boyfriend. If that's not a hoe, I don't know what is. Okay, well, next time you need to keep my name out your motherfucking mouth. Okay. And she walked off. And that was the last time I spoke to her. And she told Elena, like, yeah, no, she's just mad because I'm fucking with her ex-boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And, like, it's so funny because she gaslit me. Like, I felt like I wasn't allowed to be mad about that because, like, I felt like I needed to take a moral high ground. Like, no, you're fucking with one of your really, really, really close friends, boyfriends, which was also the dilemma. But at the same time, I was mad. Like, it took me years to realize, like, no, I was fucking mad. Like, not even realize, but admit, I was fucking mad that you were fucking on my ex. This nigga broke my heart publicly humiliated me. What, 3, 4 months ago? 3, 4 months, not even years, months ago. And you supposed to be my homegirl and you fucking with him and talking to me about him and like what y'all got going on and what y'all did and what y'all doing and the dates y'all going on and all that. Are you out of your fucking mind? That's why y'all belong together, because neither one of y'all are sane. Neither one of y'all are people that are all the way there mentally. Because why the fuck would you be coming up to me talking to me about this nigga? I don't give a damn what this nigga's doing. I don't even give a damn if he jumped off a cliff. Why the fuck are you talking to me about him? Are you crazy? Literally never spoke to her again for a very long time. Very long time. And like when I did finally speak to her, it was not on purpose. Fast forward, I'm not going to say nothing about senior year because that's like a whole nother story time within itself that I will tell y'all about later with me and my ex-girlfriend. And he was like a part of that story. Yeah, no, literally every year he tries to like link back up with me. He like kept trying to get at me. He kept trying to get at me like year after year. He would go through this cycle up until recently where he would literally block me because, well, you'll see. He would block me, right? And then he would unblock me on social media. And then he would slowly start interacting with my posts, liking my stories or liking my tweets, things like that. And then he would start sending me things. And I would just, be like, oh, ha, that's funny. Oh, ha, that's funny. And then he would send me sexual things. I would literally ignore him. He would ask me, you know, we should meet up or we should do X, Y, and Z. I would tell him no, or I would literally open his message, leave it on red, and go and like just tweet. Not even like tweet about him, but just like act like I literally never fucking saw the message. And he would delete the message and then block me. And then the cycle would restart all over again the next year. And he would have me like blocked for 3 months and then would unblock me and blah, blah, blah. What happened with Mandy? Mandy ended up having Billy's baby. She ended up having a baby boy by Billy. I saw her at Alina's 22nd birthday. Was that the 22nd? No. That was the 23rd birthday I saw her at. Because me and Alina, fun fact, born on the same exact day. Like same year, same day, same month, everything. So that's like genuinely my birthday twin. We're so close. We have like the same mind type shit. So I had my 23rd birthday festivity. She brought her best friend. I brought my best friend and we like went to a wine bar and then we went to like a cute little restaurant and we were just like talking the entire night, got some drinks. It was so much fun. And then the next weekend, Alina did something at her house. And when I pulled up, Mandy was in the driveway with her son. And we went to the house and her son was like on me. Like this little boy was, he kept coming up to me and like bringing me things like, I'm like, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And like he would come and like, open my legs and like just like swing from leg to leg and like, just like keep playing with me. And I'm just like, I need to get out of here. Cause like as cute as he is, like he is so cute. He is so cute. He is so cute. Like, I just wanted to like pick him up and like just shower him in kisses. Like, he's so cute. But it's just like, this is so weird for me because I haven't seen my ex in years. I have not, this is my first time speaking to your mother since junior year of high school. The first time I'm seeing her since junior year of high school. Her son, who is also the son of my ex, is like, it was just, it was so much to process. And I was just like, I need a break. I need a breather. I need to process this. And so I went back to my then boyfriend's house, smoked a blizzy with him, and then came back to the party. And thankfully, when I came back to the party, Mandy and her son had already left because it was like 11 at that point, so it was probably his bedtime. But yeah, Elena is the little boy's godmother. Like, it's a lot, girl. But yeah, so I still have both of them on Instagram till this day. Mandy interacts with me now. Like, every now and again, she'll like swipe up and comment on my stories or something like that. That's what I forgot to tell y'all. Oh my god, I know I was forgetting something. So, one of my other best friends, she was talking to this guy who is just like a messy bitch. Like, we know him now still, and like, long story short, he's messy as fuck. But and this should have been a hint how he handled the situation. I'm happy that he handled it the way he did, but like, it should have been a hint the way he handled the situation that he was a messy ass bitch even back then. But she was talking to him, like they were like actually like building up to be in a relationship. He had like made a joke or something about like them having sex, and she was like, oh no, I don't do that. And he was like, oh well, are you sure? Because birds of a feather flock together. And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was like, well, I know for a fact that Darian had sex with Billy. And she was like, no, she didn't. And he's like, yes, she did. Like, she did. That's what Billy told us. And she was like, no, I'm literally her best friend, like her best friend in the entire world. She would not lie to me. I know for a fact that she did not have sex with Billy. I can tell you that for a fact. She did not have sex with Billy. And so he was like, are you sure? She was like, yes. Darian is a virgin. She has never had sex with Billy. Like, ever. Not a single time. With no one, actually. And so he went back to school like the next day or a couple days later, and they were in the lunchroom. He like went up to Billy in front of everybody at the lunch table, and he was like, Billy, be for real. You didn't have sex with Darian, did you? And Billy like paused for a second, and he like looked at everybody, and then he looked at his friend, and he was like, nah, man, I didn't. He's like, wow, so you just fucking lied on her? He was like, yeah, I did, my bad. But no, we never had sex. And so that's the whole tweet of like, you were just a quick or easy fuck. He was setting up his lie. Yeah, what a piece of shit, right? What a piece of work. That's the story, folks. That was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is LOL Not Darian. Instagram is LOL Not Darian. But yeah, hope you guys liked it, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.